Hi everybody, my name is Leah Rampton. I am in charge of the stage makeup for this production. We are teaching you today how to do the basic stage makeup you will need for your performances. The basics of stage makeup is going to make you have features on stage when there is going to be bright enough light to make you look dead. The first thing that we're doing is putting lotion on her face so that her skin is ready for the makeup, because the more makeup you put on, the more damage you could do. So you want your skin to be ready and then wash it off thoroughly afterwards. For starting with the foundation, make sure to use your correct shade, otherwise you're going to look worse on stage than you would without any makeup. She is starting with her T-zone, so her forehead, then her nose, and her chin, and then her cheeks to get full coverage and everywhere that it needs to be. Blending down towards her neck, her ears, and her hairline to make sure that it looks like it's her actual skin rather than a base over her skin. After the foundation is the concealer. You only really need this if you have very dark under eye circles or standout imperfections that will be magnified on stage with the lights. If you don't have either of those, feel free to skip this step. This is one of the palettes that we will have there. It is a blush palette. We will have enough stuff to do a full face for you there. However, if the more of you that can come with a fully made face, the less early you have to get there. You can see that she is starting at the apples of her cheeks when she smiles and working on her way up. This is going to be heavier than a daily blush would be because it won't show up as much with the bright lights on stage. If you're a guy, don't use the blush. It will make you look feminine on stage, so unless you want that, don't bother. Contouring is pretty much adding definition where you don't have it or where it won't show up on stage. So she is going to pucker her face and go right under the blush down towards her lips. It is, again, going to look crazy. You're going to look like a clown until you get on stage, but it'll be worth it. You're going to start above the blush and go down to a little bit after her eye starts. It just gives a little bit of a glow that's going to define what's already there, aka her cheekbones. Be sure to pull it up towards your hairline so that it blends in and looks a little bit less fake. If you know how to do your brows, go ahead and do your brows. If you don't, leave it to us. They can make and break your character, and so it's better to have it not done and working right by the time the show starts than done improperly. She's going to use a shade a little bit darker than her skin tone for the eyeshadow. It'll create a little bit more dimension with her eyes. After the eyeshadow is eyeliner, it'll make your eye look bigger from the stage. If you don't have experience with eyeliner, do not do it. We will do it for you. Don't botch the makeup you already have just to try something new. Guys, you may want to use a brown, if anything at all. Don't feel pressured into doing it if you don't have to. You're just looking like you have features. We're doing a translucent setting powder. If you don't have one, use a setting spray. If you don't have that, we'll do it for you. If you're a guy, use it too, please. It'll keep you from sweating everything off on stage. Okay, we're just gonna take a big brush and just put it everywhere. Ignore the puff out. It'll make everything matte and stop it from getting everywhere when she moves and sweats and does everything else on stage. We are not using falsies in this performance, so get a good mascara that'll lengthen your lashes and add some volume, but preferably as natural as possible because this is not an extravagant musical. We are doing her makeup as if she is a more dramatic character, more in the spotlight. So it is darker than it would be if you were a townsperson or a young person. If you are a young person, try to find a lip shade that matches or is a little bit darker than your own so that it stands out on stage. If you're a guy of any sort, just go with a chapstick. A general rule with stage makeup is to do a 10 feet test. If it looks relatively natural from 10 feet away, you're good for on a stage. We are using Whitney's own blush. You can use whatever blush you have, or again, if you don't have a blush, come to us. Again, if you're a guy or a little boy, you probably don't need it. Concealer on Whitney, and so we're just going to do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Sorry, that got a little high.
It's okay.
And then she's just going to blend it in like she would her normal foundation. We're going to use one of my highlights on Whitney. You can do this if you want, if you don't have to. We are just going to do a liquid one and dot it along the side of her face. Yay, thank you for moving. And then she can blend it in with her fingers or a brush, sponge.
Anything.
Yeah, anything.
Voila.
Whitney is doing the same thing that Sister Soulsby did, going along the divot of her cheeks to her jawline and working it up into her hairline to give her a little bit more definition, a little bit more of a jawline. If you are a very young actor or actress, you don't need as much, you don't have enough definition, as much definition as in your face. Just have a little bit of fun with it, but make it look pretty. We are using a brown eyeliner rather than a black eyeliner because she is a youth and she doesn't need to be quite as dramatic. After we put this on, we're going to follow with the mascara, using translucent powder, and then we'll be back for the lips. Because we are doing Whitney as more as a youth, we're not going to do an eyeshadow as dark as Sister Soulsby's. We're going to use this one because it's almost the exact as her skin tone, but it is darker, so it'll still add definition. We are using a brush. You can use your finger, you can use a sponge, you can use whatever suits you. And we'll put it all over her lid and up a little bit as well to give the dimension that we want. Because she's a youth, we are using a lip color that is more her shade, one that kind of matches her lips a little bit more but still adds a little bit of pop. We're not doing it in this video, but if you are using a lipstick, please try to find a lip liner. It will help your lipstick stay on throughout the show and have to do as little as possible retouches. If you're doing a liquid lipstick like Sister Soulsby, you should be fine. Side between the adult and the kid, you can see that Whitney looks more innocent while Sister Soulsby looks a little bit more mature. Again, if you don't feel like you have the majority of this, feel free to come, but please try to have the base, which is the foundation and the concealer. We do have supplies for a full face, however, the more of you who show up for that, the earlier you have to get here, and we don't want people getting here at 3 for a show at 7. Thank you, bye-bye.